just bad luck, right? Whenever you have a early camp injury, it kind of puts it down on the entire camp, right? Especially early on. And when injuries happen, they generally happen in the first couple of days of camp. I can remember Jamal Lewis, blowing his ACL out early in the season. And guys have to rally, but you have to reset, but you're in camp mode.
Yeah.
So you're really worrying about yourself because you got, 90 guys in camp worrying about trying to get a job and other guys trying to ascend, guys trying to run spots. Some guys have already spots that they're pretty secure in. But, it's a lot of guys out there that's fighting for their lives. And this year it's going to be even more difficult. You hope that Carson Wentz was there so you can be the best version of yourself. If you're a receiver, a tight end, you're hoping that you can get some chemistry with Carson Wentz. And the problem is, he really hasn't really earned the respect of his teammates. They haven't got that chemistry, that nonverbal communication that you would like to have with your quarterback. So this is very valuable time. Camp is when you mesh as a team. Now, if Carson Wentz had been on the team before, like Aaron Rodgers, you can miss a bunch of time. But it's about the time you do off the field and time you spend with your teammates off the field so that you can come together, so you can learn the why of your teammates. Carson Wentz is going to miss that. And for me, I hate the word he's going to opt for rehab. Because that means he's going to deal with the entire year, and you know that at some point, somebody's going to land on that foot or something like that. So if it's between a long, lengthy, season where he's battling time, being in the training room all year, or having surgery, I prefer my quarterback to go ahead and get surgery if the surgery means that he can be back in 2 months.
Interesting. Okay, it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, although you were just delivering some Straight Talk. Okay, Carson Wentz, let's call it what it is. He has been plagued by injuries, it seems like his entire career. He's missed 12 regular season games, 3 in 2017, 5 in 2018, and 4 last season. This has just been the story with Carson Wentz, okay? And some of the Eagles' best football that they played was with Carson Wentz on the bench, a Super Bowl victory, okay? So let's point that out. Let's also go to the fact that this is something that the Indianapolis Colts have also dealt with as far as their quarterback being injured and having an early injury and then having it be a problem later on in the season. This gives me major Andrew Luck vibes, major Andrew Luck vibes, which if you remember, the Colts kind of said that they weren't sure what was going on with the Andrew Luck shoulder back in 2017. He ended up missing the entire regular season. What about his ankle in 2019? Well, that was the season that he retired. And so this is something that the Indianapolis Colts organization, we could even go back to Peyton Manning with a neck injury and him missing the 2011 season. So if I am a Colts fan today and I am waking up and I still don't understand how long Carson Wentz is going to be out and my backup options are Jacob Eason and Brett Hundley, I'm a little worried.
Philly. He's available. Trust me, he's available.
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles is available, and I thought that Nick Foles was a natural fit for the Jets, but now the Jets may have a little competition because I think Nick Foles becomes a commodity that people are going to want to see where he's at, see how much money he is on the salary cap, and if you have space, you need that type of insurance. You need a veteran quarterback that if you're the Indianapolis Colts, they have visions of winning the division, not just competing, but winning the division. They're not a team that wants to think they made this move as an all-in. And if I'm Philadelphia, I'm like, please, come on, man. Because that second-round draft pick that they gave up turns into a first-round draft pick if Carson Wentz plays 75% of the snaps. So, you have two organizations that's hoping that Carson Wentz can get back and be available. But, odds are that he won't. And with the extra game this year, I can't just imagine somebody. Listen, I've been down to Dr. Andrews. I have a screw in my toe. You know what I mean?
Your toe?
In my big toe. Yeah, I had a ligament transfer for my toe. For my sesamoids, everything ripped off. But he's the best in the business. And if it's an option, he's the guy that did the surgery on Terrell Suggs, ACL, Achilles, and got him back in the same season. So if anybody can patch him up really quick, he can patch him up and try and get him back. But, we've seen Sammy Watkins with the foot injury. We've seen Julio Jones. You hope that it's not some type of Liz Frank type of issue where they have to do surgery, put screws in it, because that can mean, that Carson Wentz may not be available before it even started.
Okay, I want to go back to the Nick Foles comment about bringing in a veteran like Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Two things I want to say to that. First of all, The fact that they did decide to bring in Brent Hundley instead of a veteran like Nick Foles right out of the gate made me, like, if I was speaking from a Colts perspective, made me feel better almost, because it said to me, perhaps this isn't as serious as maybe some people are initially thinking it might be. And again, we have no specific details. All we know is that he's meeting with the doctor and he's out indefinitely. That's it. So that was one. Two, in terms of Nick Foles, this could go two different ways for me. One, you could take the angle like you did, like this is the best option, because this is the way I'm looking at it too. To bring in a guy that has familiarity, obviously, with Frank Reich's system and has familiarity with Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz would know, hey, we know our roles here. I'm the starting quarterback. You're the backup. This is how it's going to work. You're going to come in until I'm fully ready. There's that way. Or there's the other way, to understand that Carson Wentz, by all accounts, I don't know Carson Wentz, but from what I had read from last year, is a little bit mentally fragile, and perhaps bringing in the same guy who was breathing down your neck in Philadelphia could mess with that a little. There's two options here. You, it sounds like, are in the camp of this would be the best option for Carson Wentz, should he need to miss some time, right?
Right, because what happens is the pressure builds on Carson Wentz to try and come back if the team is struggling. At least with Nick Foles, you know, he knows the system. He can come in and understand the verbiage, you know, because, you know, speaking, you know, different offenses is like speaking a different language. And he speaks the language. He's fluent in it. So he can make the adjustments. So you don't have to go through all the adjustments that you would need. And the better Nick Foles would play would be the less pressure from Carson Wentz to come back as he sees his team sink. Because this is a team that's good enough to win with running the football and being able to play great defense. So, I mean, if I'm Nick Foles, if I'm Carson Wentz, I'm hoping that, you know, it is Nick Foles and you make the change. And hopefully he gets good news.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.